Welcome to tonight's family mediation time. I'm your old friend, Whispering Life Stories. Tonight, we won't talk about big theories, just real stories. He is 16 years old, a boy taking online classes while also working part-time at a supermarket. His sister is 24. A few months ago, she got divorced and moved back to their parents' home with her 3 children. The oldest is 4 years old, and the other 2 are twins who won't turn 2 for another 3 months. Ever since the sister moved back, the atmosphere at home has changed. The parents work from home. At first, they were able to help take care of the children, but gradually, they got used to doing less. Their work kept them busy, and their time became limited. So, all eyes turned to the youngest person in the house, the 16-year-old boy. Everyone expected him to occasionally help watch the kids. But he consistently refused, very directly. It's not that he never interacts with the children. He says he does play with them, reads to them, and does various things together. But he doesn't want to be left alone to watch 3 toddlers for hours while his sister goes off to do who knows what. Another sister apparently keeps trying in different ways to push him into that role. For example, she put on her coat, grab her bag, head to the door, and say she's leaving. He responds with, "When is the babysitter coming?" And then the argument starts about whether he should watch the kids. His answer is usually just 2 words, "No." Later, something happened in the family, something not to be talked about. The sister could no longer take the kids to their father's place, not even on weekends. So she had to take care of them full-time. The pressure stacked up layer by layer, eventually landing on the youngest and least powerful person in the house. The parents told him, "You need to be a better brother and uncle." He proposed a compromise. If asked well in advance, he would occasionally be willing to watch the 4-year-old niece for a few hours. Not the twins, not all 3 at once, and not on demand. The proposal was rejected. The sister said he should be willing to spend time with all the children, and sometimes she needs someone to take care of them immediately because there's no babysitter right now. His response was blunt, "That's her problem. She chose to have kids. I didn't choose to be a free babysitter." Arguments followed. Then he completely refused. He says he's not heartless. He just doesn't want helping out to become the norm. He doesn't want to be automatically treated as free labor just because he doesn't have children. He's still a student. He has his online classes, his part-time job, and he wants to do what he wants with his own time. Alright, that's the story. Let me ask you a question first. Do you think this 16-year-old boy is a selfish jerk? I'll give you 3 seconds to think about it. Okay. Now let me share my perspective. First, I want to say I understand the sister's situation. She's 24, divorced, with 3 very young children, living back at her parents' home, unable to go out freely. The pressure is suffocating. She needs support. She needs a break. That's a fact. But I also want to say this. Suffering is not a license to ignore boundaries. What's happening in this family is a very typical role misplacement. The parents are shifting the responsibility of childcare from one adult, the sister, to a minor, the younger brother. On the surface, it's helping out. In reality, it's a redistribution of family labor. And the irony is, the brother is the only one who never chose to become a parent. The sister chose to have children. The parents chose to work from home. What did the brother choose? Nothing. He was simply born into this family and is now expected to take on obligations he never wanted. An even more telling detail is this. The sister rejected the advance notice. Compromise because she needs someone immediately. What does that mean? It means she sees the brother as an on-call backup babysitter. Her urgency automatically becomes his urgency. Her children's needs automatically become his responsibility. This is one of the most common forms of invisible exploitation in families, using love as a cover for crushed boundaries. He said he has no idea how to take care of the twins. That's important. A 16-year-old boy, who has never been taught how to care for infants under 2, is expected to occasionally look after them. What if something happens? What if a child chokes, falls, or gets a fever? Who takes responsibility? Is he ready for that? This is not just an attitude issue. It's a matter of safety and capability. So, what's the solution? I think this 16-year-old has already offered a very mature proposal. Advance notice, only watching the 4-year-old with clear time boundaries. That's not selfish. That's honest support within the limits of his resources and abilities. Finally, I want to say a few words to that 16-year-old boy. If you're listening, you are not wrong. You have the right to protect your time, your education, and your mental health. The fact that you're willing to play with the kids and read to them already proves you are not cold-hearted. You simply refuse to be treated as a tool. Those are two very different things. Second story. Let's call him Michael. He and his wife Liz have been married for 7 years and have a preschool child. Like many families, they live in the same city as their parents, and the grandmother helps take care of the child while the couple works. Sounds like a standard family setup, right? But life doesn't go easy on you just because your setup is standard. Liz earns more. She got a better job opportunity in another city. Michael agreed to move because he could easily find a job too. Everything seemed to be moving in a better direction. Until they told the family they were going to sell the house and move. That Sunday, everything exploded. Liz told her mother-in-law they planned to move and hire a nanny. The mother-in-law's reaction went from shock to anger to breakdown. She said she didn't want her grandchild to move away and even suggested the child should stay with her. Liz laughed. The mother-in-law called Liz an ungrateful witch and said the grandchild would only move over her dead body. The argument escalated. Liz told her to stop interfering in matters that didn't concern her. The mother-in-law responded by threatening to take Michael and Liz to court to ensure she could still see her grandchild. Liz turned to her husband. Michael sat there, saying nothing, doing nothing. She asked him to talk to his mother. Michael replied, "You're being unfair to her. She's upset because she won't see her grandchild anymore. You're being a bit selfish." Liz began arguing. She said she couldn't believe that after hearing his mother threaten legal action, he still didn't defend her. Michael said, "She's upset. You can't blame her reaction." Liz shouted at him, saying he wasn't supporting her and was enabling his mother. Then she took the child and left, saying, "Your family is your problem, deal with it." And Michael was confused. He thought both sides had valid points. He chose to stay out of it. Why was Liz so angry? He even asked the question that leaves so many people silent. Am I the jerk? Let me pause here. Michael asked if he's a jerk. I want to say this, dear Michael, you're not a jerk, you're weak. And in a marriage, weakness can be more destructive than being a jerk. So Michael, if you're listening, I want to say a few things to you. You didn't realize something. The crack in your marriage didn't start that afternoon. It grew slowly, every time you chose silence. You think you're just trying not to hurt your mother. But have you considered this? When you protect your mother's feelings, you are sacrificing your wife's sense of security. What did your mother lose? Her grandchild moved to another city. She can't see them every day anymore. She feels sad, hurt. Those emotions are real and deserve understanding and comfort. But what did your wife lose? She lost trust in her husband. She realized that when the storm comes, the man beside her won't stand in front of her to shield her but will sit there and say, both sides have a point. One loss can be healed. The other may never be repaired. You tell me which cost is greater. As for the court threat, Michael, your mother said she would sue you. Whether or not she would actually do it, that statement itself already crossed every reasonable boundary. What your wife needed to hear in that moment was not she's upset, but don't worry, I'm here. She won't do that. And you said nothing. Finally, I want to say something to everyone listening. The most dangerous thing in a marriage is not arguments, not cold wars, not even infidelity. The most dangerous thing is when your partner needs you and you choose to be rational and neutral, because love is never neutral. Love is standing beside your partner without hesitation when the storm hits and then facing the world together, not leaving your partner alone in the storm while you stand on the shore, analyzing the waves. That's all for tonight's story. If you have thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments.